My name is Josh Hoffman. I ride a 2001 883 that I just picked up in April from Ray Price.
My name is Matt Hendricks. I just recently picked up a bike from Ray Price. I chose the 883C. Josh and I have been friends for, I'd say, about 10 years now. We've been riding together for a while, and good way to get out and just see the world.
When I decided I needed a little bit of a bigger bike, more reliability, more time on the highway without hitting the top speed so quick, I decided I really needed to look at some numbers before deciding anything. So I went down to Ray Price, and it blew me away with how cheap it could be. For $4 a day, I can have a Harley-Davidson that never seemed like something I could do.
Been riding bikes for a while, and I always kind of went for the lower price, into things, smaller bikes. Kind of got old, I kind of wanted something bigger. And I've always liked Harleys, I just never thought I could afford one. And then I started doing, my research, looking around. It's really not that much. It's kind of like going out and getting lunch at a fast food place. I can afford to take that out of my budget, every day and be healthier and then actually ride the bike that I want.
It never seemed like something I would have, but I do now. Ever since I got the new bike, I hate driving my car. I don't want to be in a car. Just from that fact alone, I'm spending half the money a month on gas. That money I'm saving on gas goes into my bike. It's basically free. It was a little weird at first to look at a bike as my main mode of transportation, but after riding for a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, getting caught in the rain, getting caught in traffic, it's not so bad. You kind of start to get into it. It's become the high point of my day. I'm in a better mood when I ride into work than when I drive in.
Going anywhere in a basically a box is kind of a burden, because most of the times you've got the windows up, you can't really feel or see what's going on around you. When you're on a bike, it's more or less like you're involved with nature. You can see everything a little bit better. You can slow down, you can speed up when you need to. Just makes it that much less restricting.
When we take these trips, it's completely different than being in a tour van, being in a car. You are out there in it, and you have no choice. And people throw around freedom a lot, but try it and you'll get it. The bike, to me, can be a complete roller coaster ride. It can be complete isolation. It can get you attention when you want it. It can get you away from attention when you don't want it. For $4 a day, that's a steal in my book.
Sometimes Josh and I will end up way out there, but that's pretty much the point of having a bike. You're way out there, just new things to see, things you haven't seen before. It's the adventure.
Riding in a car can start to feel like a cage. You're locked up and you're not in tune with anything else. You're zoned out on the radio. On a bike, you're definitely outside of that cage. You got no choice but to feel everything that's passing you. On a bike, you're out there. You're in your trip. You're living it. There's no zoning out in between gas stations. You are fully engaged the whole time. That's part of the magic of it.
There's a reason you don't see motorcycles parked out in front of therapist offices.
believe he's 75 years old and still riding the hog. You hear me? You hear me? I ain't telling no lie now. Hey, tell him, boss. 75 riding the hog, and tell him he rode the Daytona and back. Tell him, boss.
I've been riding them all my life. My first bike was a Harley.
What I love about Harley-Davidson is the brotherhood, the love. I can go anywhere, anytime, and see a person that's a doctor, a lawyer, or a person that's a rebel. And we both have something in common, which is we both love Harley-Davidson.
Well, I've actually been riding over 13 years, and I used to be on a sport bike, but the Harley, the Hog, actually brought me comfort, and it also brought me miles. So when I'm on this bike, of course, the power, the sound, the music that I can have with it, the comfort, that long distance ride is what brought me out.
They call me Doc. I have a 2012 Road Glide Custom. Best bike I've ever had. I love riding that bike. Nice shark nose. I love riding that bike. It's clean lines. I like how it moves. It handles perfectly. Never had a bike like it. I remember the first bike I had. I won't mention it, but it wasn't the best ride, but this is the best ride I've ever had.
My name is Boss. I'm with the Vicious Hog Association. What we are is kind of you do your own thing, right? Not the basic rules of a bike club. Most of them are very professional, businessmen, lawyers, doctors, that type thing, right? Which have schedules that, but our primary function, right, is to better our community. Community service, neighbor to neighbor, Boys and Girls Club of Durham, right, and other charitable organizations that we do all the time. Ray Price supports us tremendously. They are always there for us. When we need something and we ask Ray Price, it happens.
My name is Derek Hawkins, and I ride with Crossroad Riders. I ride a 13 Road Glide, and I had some parts from my other bike, and I took it to Ray Price, and they customized it.
I'm with the Bull City Riders out of Durham, North Carolina. We was established in 1977. So we've been together 37 years. And we do anything from scholarships to food drives to donations, helping kids out like burn victims or homeless people. We're a big asset in the community. I have had Hondas, Suzukis, and stuff like that. But once I got into the Harley culture, it took on a different meaning as far as biking. And now it's like, okay, everybody I meet, I tell them about Harley-Davidson. And before I know it, they end up with a Harley. Every Harley has its own personality. You can put 10 different Harleys of the same bike together, and 10 different people will have it looking 10 different ways to fit their own personality, So it becomes a part of you.
I'm appreciative of, Ray Price having his Iron Elite event. It's the only one that's really the best one. I like the fact that, they greet you, and it's like cheers. When you come in, they know your name, and they give good deals, pretty good deals, and always have the right parts for me.
So I'm a member of the National Buffalo Soldiers in the Raleigh chapter. We ride iron horses to represent the brothers who rode real horses from the 9th and the 10th Cavalry. We try to give back in community like most of the clubs that are out there. I think we do a lot of riding too. I think there are guys in my club. I'm probably on the younger end of my club. I'm in my 50s. We got guys in my club that are on their 70s and 80s that ride. And so I appreciate the fact that it's an intergenerational club as well, and that we all get to ride together and we take long rides together. Well, I'm a big history buff anyway. There's a proverb that says, until the lion has his own historian, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And so, being a brother on a bike, I also wanted to know the African American contribution to riding. And what I've read and what I've learned is that these brothers and sisters that were in Iron Elite paved the way for a lot of us to be on bikes. And it dispels the myth that we didn't get on Harleys until later. They were riding Harleys early on. So I appreciate the fact that they carry on a legacy for those of us who currently ride.
The culture here at Ray Price Harley-Davidson has us doing a lot of events. The events bring together the community of riders. People will ride here, they'll participate in activities, and it's a brotherhood. We do several big events each year, probably half a dozen, and we'll do almost an event every month at least. But every weekend, people will say there's always something going on at Ray's. And it's about the community, it's about helping the good causes that are out there. It's helping our riders. We want to give people a place where they can come and socialize. When we do bike nights, even away from the dealership, it's all about the culture. We want the people to just have a good time, hang out. And we know people are going to come here. We know and hope that they're going to come and buy from us here. But we want to create that family atmosphere, that culture that Ray and Jean have cultivated over the years. And so we enjoy having people here. Ray and Jean love having people here and hosting their home.
Freedom Biker Church, and today you see annual Buffalo Wild Wing Cook-Off benefiting the Duke Children's Miracle Network, and we're very appreciative of Ray Price having this event and letting us come out here and cook some wings.
So just recently, the Buffalo Wing Cook-Off benefited the Duke Children's Miracle Network, and so those kids are going to be helped specifically from this event. Those monies raised will go right to the hospital, and even in the early spring, we raised money for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, and people participate in that, as well as in the fall. We'll raise money for a number of charities through the barbecue cook-off.
So this is Team Shea Rails Flip and Dip, and we're out here at Ray Price Harley-Davidson today for the Wild Wing Cook-Off, and we're having a great time. It's a great cause, Duke Children's Research, so it's a great cause and lots of fun today.
We're Backyard Bistro. We're here at Ray Price Chicken Wing Cook-Off to benefit the Duke Children's Hospital. What a great event. Raise money, sun shining, got some great wings to eat.
There's things going on every weekend. People are coming in doing rides. We're happy to host them and support them, help promote their rides. People are raising money for all kinds of needs out there. There's military needs, there's health needs, there's community projects. Whatever's going on, Ray Price is glad to be involved in it.
My name is Ray Price. I created the Funny Bike. I built the bike to run exhibition, and they've used that motorcycle to create the class, to write the rules around the class, and now I run Top Fuel. My wife, brothers, and I rode motorcycles back in the 60s, and we were riding to different flat track races and different events, and it kind of turned into kind of a competitive situation from time to time. We'd stop in the middle of the road and take off and see who could outrun the other one, and so it got to the point where it was important enough to me, and I decided I'd better try to go with a drag strip rather than trying to do it on the road. I started drag racing, started going to drag strips. I actually started going around to different parking lots and stuff, trying to learn how to take off fast and how to control the motorcycle, have good reaction times and stuff. And so it kind of grew from there, and I I did local tracks for a couple of years back in probably latter part of 65, 66, and early part of 67. The August 30th, 1967, I had my first professional race in Atco, New Jersey. I was hooked after that. It is the most awesome thing you could ever imagine. I mean, you're sitting dead still, just like I am here in this chair right now, and within 1/10 of a second, you're pulling 4 Gs. And so it's, and a G is your body weight, so that means you weigh 4 times your body weight, and that within 1/10 of a second. And it's such an adrenaline rush, you know, to run down the drag strip at 6.3 seconds, a quarter mile, and it's a very big adrenaline rush. You get to the end and you're out of breath and you're just hassling and say, I can't get back to the starting line so I can do it all over again. It's always been based on the Sportster, you know, Harley-Davidson Sportster motor and that design. Of course, we started modifying it quite a bit, and the first one was probably I'd want to say maybe 115 horsepower, and we moved from there up, and then when I built the funny bike, started running nitromethane, then I was looking at probably 250 horsepower, and then I kept modifying it, and so it kept growing. Now we got over 1,000 horsepower. There is fear there, there's a respect there, a lot of respect. The fear creates the respect, the adrenaline rush and the competition and everything kind of outweighs the fear. But we always tried to keep it in the back of our mind, because you know, you want to sit on something 1,000 horsepower that's capable of carrying you down the drag strip in less than, in about now we're running 6.15 seconds, and so 235 mile an hour. And so something that can haul you that quick and that fast, there's a lot of danger involved. So you have to be careful and give it a lot of respect and try to make sure you maintain it properly and you control it properly and keep everything, keep the bike straight up like it's supposed to be, and keep it going down the drag strip in a straight line. Well, drag racing is my hobby, my fun, my excitement, and it's part of my business, you know, and I worked it into the business over all these years. And so, you know, people ask me and say, when are you going to retire? And I say, well, retire to what? Because I'm already doing the things I like to do. And so drag racing is really a big part of that, and having the dealership and the people and the customers and friends and stuff. And so, you know, I just enjoy going to drag race, so I'm probably going to keep doing it for a long, long time, and I hope that I'm still physically able to do it.